Hey guys, I've got Ripley here. We've been working together for about a year, but and it's been going great. And I just wanted to ask Ripley to tell everyone about the story of Ripley Radar, basically.
Well, hi, by the way. Ripley Raider has been in business for now. This is our 10th year in business. We started with one jumpsuit. We're based out of Los Angeles and we manufacture in Los Angeles. But we started with one jumpsuit and pretty exclusively made that for 1 or 2 years maybe. We didn't have big seed money. And so we were like, we've always sort of been the little engine that could, in my opinion. And so we finally got to a point where we could invest a little bit in marketing. And it was sort of a kismet moment when MHI reached out to us. And that was about a year and a half ago, I think, something like that. Maybe even just a year ago.
Year and a couple months.
Year and a couple of months. And now we're a really big company. I don't know. It's such an example of working with a team that understands you, understands the vision rather than putting you. I think what makes y'all great and the reason we work together so well is that you don't just put your thoughts on our brand. You understand what we're about, what drives us, and then the marketing that y'all create goes in that direction. And so it feels really authentic to our clients. And so the clients that we've had for the last 10 years are super excited to see us everywhere on every ad. And then also the new clients, I think, really understand that we're not just some Instagram brand. We're an actual brand that has integrity behind the way that we make our clothes and things like that. And that's all done through marketing. You know, I always used to say, like, I used to be in musical theater before I launched Ripley Raider. And I always wanted to be like on Broadway because I wanted the masses to see my work or whatever and not be like in Lower East Side garage performing somewhere. And I felt that way with Ripley Raider. We had a really good product. We had the bones behind us and we were a house built on rock, but no one knew who we were. And until you guys came along and really put us in everyone's pockets, which has been rad.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year.
Oh my gosh,
just over
crazy.
a year.
Yeah, crazy. And it's only going up. You know, we're only getting better. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it keeps getting better. Like as you said, house built on rocks.
Yeah,
Um, house,
absolutely.
so all the foundations were there. I mean, how long have you been around before we came along? For how long? Like,
I think about 8 years, 8.5. I mean, I think I think we started late, late 2013. And I think our team started getting built in about end of 2015. So, 7 or 8 years of like, building the brand, to make sure that what we sold was good. And then what happened was when the stars sort of aligned, we started working together. Everything came together. I mean, it was just like the perfect storm. And so we were ready to explode. You guys were willing to sort of work with us. I like that, I always joke that we started so small with y'all. And other companies we worked with would like laugh on our face because we don't take big jumps, as you know. And but we're willing, if something works, we're willing to lean into that. So if we, but I think I was so grateful for y'all that you are willing to work with our availability of finances and everything. And then once we realized things were working, we just went all in, which has been such a cool thing to see with the company.
yeah, and yeah, it's been great working with you.
Uh,
I don't know what to say. My favorite client relationship. So my other favorite
I'll take favorite client.
client. But yeah, like we came on, and it's no mean feat to say yes when it's work. It's say yes when it's working. It's very hard to do. But
Yeah.
you guys were very good at that. When it started working, you were very receptive to me saying it can work more, you know?
Right. I think there's a level too of trust in our partnership that I feel like I've worked with other marketing companies. We've worked with many marketing companies before MHI. And we always felt like they had their own sort of ulterior motives, or that we weren't a real partnership. It was like they are a company that has their own interests at heart, that don't often align with uh, with us or with the company, as the owners of the company who see the bottom line of everything. And with MHI, everything from the creative to the numbers to the risks we take, everything, it all seems very measured, strategic, and it never feels like a forced thing. It's like you give us your opinion on how you think something will go, and then you give us an opportunity to say, okay, we're ready to do this or we're not. And sometimes it takes a few months for us to be like, okay, we can do this. But I think that's different than most companies. Now you could say jump and we'd say how high, because the trust is there now, right? So we understand, I just got off the phone with a creative arm of your team, and everything she said is just, she's gotten the eye of our brand so beautifully that, I could really just lean on her to do it at this point, which is such a gift to a business owner, because your head is in so many places that if you can really lean on a company that is growing your company, but also will not do you dirty, both number-wise and creatively, to reach out. Like, I don't have to proof everything because I have such trust in what you guys are creating for us. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like a lot of our clients say kind of similar things, and it makes sense because for us, because the results are way better when our goals are aligned. It's
Right.
not a battle. We're going in together, right?
Right, right. And I think it also feels very long game to me. I think we were in the wholesale market for so many years before really diving into direct to consumer, and it's such a volatile market, or it feels that way a little bit more than wholesale. And I feel like there's a level of trust that in long game that we've been able to create, and that I think you guys have a really great handle on, because no one will note things, but no one's terribly reactive with like, okay, we recognize that this maybe is this way for right now, but it won't be that in 6 months, or this is where we see it going in 6 months. We want to lean into that. Let's be on the front end of that, which is really cool for us. So we're not always like playing catch up. It feels very intentional about how we are growing the company in the marketing arm of the company. It's really cool. It's wild. Definitely. It's like the wildest thing. Like it's even at wholesale markets. Like there's a huge fashion market called Coterie in New York, and every brand is there with their like booth. It's so ridiculous. But you stand there, and I have all these wholesalers coming up to me going, Ripley, like they know me, like they hug me, and they and my sales reps are like, have you met these women? And that they haven't. They've never met me. Like I don't know who they are. But because of the marketing, I think that you guys have been really smart about like making it a real thing. The brand is because it's my life and my dream. And you guys have really shown that, and that's speaking to not only direct to consumer buyers, but like wholesale buyers as well. So it's helped us on multiple fronts, which has been really rad.
Yeah, for sure. And we always try and play the long term with ads and brands. And the thing is, it all comes together when the story's there, the teamwork's there, the why you're doing something's there, and the product's there, obviously. So
Yeah.
you'd say that the ads, the work we've done D2C has helped you in other areas of the business?
Yeah, definitely. It's absolutely helped. I think oftentimes wholesalers are very scared of direct to like a brand who has a really healthy direct to consumer e-commerce site, And that has not been the case for us at all. Our wholesalers are thrilled with our brand recognition online, because they come into the store and they've seen our name, like 20 times. And so they already won us before they even go into the store, these boutiques. And so it's been really, everyone is pleased across the board. And I think that speaks to, I talk a lot in this industry about how it's like glitter and bullshit. But I think marketing can be glitter and bullshit. But it's not. I think that for us, I think the reality is that it's really heartfelt. It's heart-centered. It's integrity-driven. And I think that really has shown in our marketing. We don't make promises we can't fill, and you guys are to thank for that.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I mean, it's been a great relationship, and I'm sure it'll carry on to be that.
Oh yeah, now we're ride or die at this point. Kamal, you cannot get rid of me at this point.
yeah, and we always try and like bolster and create these relationships at MHI, and it just works. This does, right? So maybe we'll talk a little bit about sort of results we've seen.
Okay.
When we started, you said you worked with other agencies before. I know you've worked with other agencies before, and like online to now, and I think we started off pretty fast, right? I think maybe tripled or 4x in the first couple of months.
In the first couple of months, I think we are 4 times the size we were. Now I feel like we're like 30 times the size we were. I mean, we're definitely, I know that sounds crazy. We're definitely 10 times the size we were.
I think we're more like 50, 60 sort of numbers.
Well, are we really?
Something like that, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, it's funny because people are like, what's happened? And I was like, marketing happened. But yes, I think it was, I think within the first 4 months, yes, it was like 4 or 5 times. And then it just kept, I think it's been a beautiful just growth. And of course we have huge hits, Black Friday and all of that stuff is going to be remarkable. But from when we started with you, our highest day then, we've not even gotten low enough now. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even in the same world. Which is a really cool thing.
I think on one day we probably did half of what you did the year before.
Actually, I think it was in one day we did 2/3 of the sales that we did in all of 2019, I think, which was our biggest year pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Crazy.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, right? So like just sort of day to day in the business, how's it different? Like what were you doing before in the business, and now how's your outlook and what you're doing now?
Okay, so before we started with you, we were working out of our loft in Hollywood. It's a live work space, but it's still a home. We had I was running the company along with my husband. It's a family business, and one 18-year-old intern. And now we have our design studio, our loft, which is now my design studio and showroom in Hollywood, and a big office and warehouse downtown LA. We have 4 full-time employees, and then I now have an assistant. Like we've grown. I mean, and it's really a cool, I mean, of course it's terrifying in some ways growing. I think there's no comfort in growth. But I do think that even though it hit big, it was like an actor that you see that's like 7 years and overnight success. And that was what this was. We got together with MHI at a point where we were really ready to go. Actually, I don't know if we were quite ready, because I think you guys are really patient with us as we were like dying. But but since we moved into our office space, downtown warehouse office, on September 1st. And in many ways, we've already outgrown that space and are looking to expand again. And obviously, we don't make any huge moves ever. We're sort of a little bit slower on that, but we're giving it a time. But definitely by the time our lease is up, we'll be upgrading again. Because I don't think things are gonna slow down. I think the thing that I like about working with y'all is that there's always new concepting happening. It's like, oh, this has hit like a plateau of sorts or whatever. What's the next thing we can do? What's the next creative thing? What's the next like strategic thing we can do? And so I don't really see us plateauing, or I just see us going up from here. I don't think after seeing the success we've had in the past year, I don't see why we're not an absolute recognized brand in everyone's closet. And I think we can get there.
I agree, yeah, and we're all working together on not just what we've got to this stage. Now we're thinking about all the other things we need to be doing to get to that level, try and help you along the way with all that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I can't believe it. It's the craziest thing. I can't, also, I think there's a level of growth that feels the whole thing with MHI and this marketing, which does feel differently than other marketing companies, is that it just doesn't feel pressure filled. It feels like totally organic within the company. It's like, are you guys ready and set to do this? Can you do this? I don't ever feel like I'm outside my comfort zone or outside my like integrity with anything we do. And you guys really walk the walk in a way that other marketing companies don't. That's not a sell. That I actually mean that. And maybe that's why I'm so like your team is rather indispensable to us at this point. And I think it's because you guys really do walk the walk, and you're young and you're cool and you have a vibe that I mean, I think I'm cool, but I'm also 42, and I think there is a level of freshness that I don't have that you guys have, and that's made a huge difference with our marketing.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's very cool. Okay. I mean, it's been great chatting.
I love chatting with you.
Me too. I mean, I agree with everything you said. We are very good.
You are. That's the problem. It's like you wanted me to do this, and in some ways, I don't want to tell anyone about you because I don't want you to. Because the thing is, I don't want you to get more clients because I always want to be your favorite client. But I think I think the team is really strong. I think it's a rare thing to be able to work with a company that is as strong with strategy, numbers, and that side, as well as the creative. And I think that's where you guys have an edge. And I feel like it's like I want the world to know, and then I don't. It's like a good vacation spot. It's like don't ever learn about this. I don't want it ruined for me, But yeah, it's been great. Come on, I love working with y'all.
MHI, the best vacation spot.
That's like what it is. It's like, oh no, am I ruining it by telling everybody how good you are?
Ripley would not recommend us to.
Do not work with MHI. They're terrible. No. So I can't even say it because you're great. Like, you guys are great. I can't imagine working with anyone else. Like I said, at this point, the team is completely indispensable to our team, and we don't work a lot with outside people, and so this has been quite a learning process for us, but the best thing we've ever done for our company, and I mean that.
Awesome, yeah, and same here. Working with you's been unbelievable.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks so much for this.
Of course. Thank you. I'll do it anytime. Okay, talk soon.